of all the delays causes, are a high percentage of them within the carrier's control, or what? And has that changed over the years as well, or is it primarily weather, or what is it?
Weather is one of the key factors that we live with in the airline industry. To the extent that you can predict weather 24 hours, 48 hours out, in theory you can make some level of schedule adjustments to respond. And you see that a lot during the wintertime now, where you have forecast blizzards or heavy thunderstorms, and the airlines will make proactive adjustments in order to minimize the amount of disruption for the aircraft that actually fly. This time of year, really during the summer months, when you're dealing with thunderstorm activity, it's really hard. And it's really hard not only because you have ground-based disruption at airports where thunderstorm lines can take hours to move through a city, but thunderstorms are very tall. I mean, they go to 40,000, 45,000 feet, and they can disrupt the airways in between major points and create backups of traffic that then create airport delays on the ground. When you look at the airline operation itself, one of the most difficult things to manage from a planning perspective is the operation at the airport level. How do you get the maximum amount of utilization out of the gates that you have, out of the aircraft that you have? How do you minimize the amount of time that an airplane is sitting doing nothing, right? And I think that one of the areas where we've seen carriers put a lot of attention is looking at those different dynamics, looking at the gate turns, the time it takes to bring an airplane in from an inbound flight and turn it for the outbound, and to look at even things like taxi-out time as a real opportunity to reduce that variability and to pick up time in the schedule that can be used to accommodate for the variability of weather. So I think that when you look at the airline game, so to speak, of running a smooth operation, there are always a majority of factors that will be outside of the airline's control, whether it's weather, the government, competitive capacity. Again, we're not allowed to coordinate schedules in a meaningful way, so for obvious reasons. So it is a situation where airlines are trying to make their best guesses about what's going to happen without concrete knowledge. To the extent that airlines can share information through the command center and through other vehicles in order to best communicate how they're going to respond to an immediate problem, that helps, but ultimately we look internally at the things we can control. We increase the amount of time that an aircraft might be allocated gate time to absorb delays from flight to flight. Of course, that comes at a heavy cost when you're dealing with airlines that depend on utilization of the aircraft to maximize revenue. So there are trade-offs involved with everything here. And where I think you settle down is in the current infrastructure that we live in today, when everything is going incredibly well for an operation, it's possible to get close to 90% on-time performance. But that is the exception. That's not the rule. Because there are other factors at work that are equally, if not more important to the airline than on-time performance. And the big one, as you mentioned, is the completion rate. It's getting you where you want to go that day.